Nearly half of humanity now lives under the BRICS umbrella. These nations command 45% of the world's population, control 43% of global oil production, and dominate critical resources. China alone refines 85% of the rare earth metals, powering smartphones, electric cars, and even advanced weapons. Their combined GDP has surged to nearly $30 trillion. And some of the world's fastest-growing economies are part of this powerful club. This isn't just an economic alliance, it's a potential game-changer that could reshape global trade, finance and politics in ways we've never seen before. This control over vital energy supplies, rare resources, and a rapidly expanding middle class, BRICS seems to have everything it needs to challenge the old order. But can it? Hit a like button, subscribe, let's find out if a new superpower is ready to challenge the West. What began as a group of 5 countries with a catchy name, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, has grown into a 10-member club. Some now call it the Global South G7.
Between 2024 and 2025, this group expanded to include Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, the UAE, and Indonesia, with Saudi Arabia still thinking about joining. Together, these countries make up nearly 30% of the world's GDP, producing around $30 trillion in economic output. Some of the new members bring huge growth potential. Ethiopia's economy, for example, is expected to grow by an incredible 1,170% by 2050. That's a sign of a rising force with real momentum. The dream behind this expansion is clear. BRICS wants to create a multipolar world where power isn't just in the hands of the West. Instead of relying on institutions like the IMF and World Bank, these countries aim to build their own financial and political systems. This could change how global decisions are made, shifting influence away from old powers and toward a new group of rising nations.
But can this diverse group really unite and reshape the world? Share your personal thoughts in the comments below. Imagine a coalition with the power to shape global energy markets and tomorrow's industries.
BRICS now controls 43% of global oil production, strengthened by the addition of Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Iran. With oil still the backbone of the world economy, this gives the bloc significant leverage over prices and energy security. But BRICS' influence stretches beyond energy. China, its largest economy, refines 85% of the world's rare earth elements, vital for renewable energy, electric vehicles, and advanced technologies. Controlling these resources means influencing not just markets, but the very pace of technological progress. The bloc is also pushing for financial independence. The new development bank, with $100 billion in capital, has already funded massive infrastructure projects, thousands of kilometers of roads and railways, without relying on the IMF or World Bank. BRICS members are also testing local currency trade and cross-border payment systems to reduce dependence on the US dollar.
This mix of resource dominance and financial ambition suggests something far bigger than simple economic cooperation. Could Brexit be building a new economic system that challenges Western rules and shifts global power? The answer may decide whether the world moves toward a true multipolar future or stays under Western influence. This so-called superpower in the making can't even agree on who should sit at the UN Security Council. For all its ambition, BRICS is deeply divided, and those cracks are impossible to ignore.
China and India, the 2 biggest economies in the bloc, remain locked in a tense rivalry. Their long-running border disputes and competition over China's Belt and Road Initiative make genuine cooperation difficult. India, wary of Beijing's dominance, often pushes for new members to counterbalance Chinese influence rather than strengthen it. Tensions don't stop there. Iran and Saudi Arabia, recent enemies in the Yemen conflict, may sit at the same table now, but mistrust runs deep. Egypt and Ethiopia are also locked in a bitter dispute over the Nile's Grand Renaissance Dam, which spilled into BRICS discussions when they blocked South Africa's bid for a permanent UN Security Council seat. Different political systems only add to the dysfunction. Democracies like Brazil and India must find common ground with monarchies and theocracies, such as Saudi Arabia and Iran, making consensus painfully slow.
These fractures were on full display at the 2025 Rio Summit. Xi Jinping skipped it entirely, and 4 other key leaders, including Russia's Vladimir Putin, didn't show up. For a bloc that dreams of reshaping global power, unity remains its greatest obstacle. Remember the headlines about a BRICS currency that would replace the US dollar? Well, it's not happening anytime soon. Despite bold talk and high hopes, creating a shared currency for such a diverse group is a huge challenge.
Each member's economy is very different in size, structure, and stability. India, in particular, worries that a shared currency would put China in control, tipping the balance of power within the bloc. Meanwhile, the US dollar remains firmly in charge of global finance. It dominates around 90% of foreign exchange transactions and makes up about 60% of global foreign reserves. This deep-rooted dominance means that any new currency would face an uphill battle to gain trust and widespread use. Even within BRICS, leaders acknowledge these realities. Ambitions to create a financial alternative to the dollar have slowed down, and the idea of a BRICS currency now feels more like a distant goal than an imminent reality.
For now, the dollar isn't going anywhere, and the global financial system remains firmly under Western control, at least for the time being. Here is a trillion-dollar question. Can BRICS actually challenge the West's dominance?
Right now, BRICS accounts for about 1/3 of global GDP, while the G7 holds a larger share at 43%. But by 2050, many experts predict BRICS could surpass the G7, driven by fast-growing economies like India, Ethiopia, and Egypt. Meanwhile, the G7's aging populations and slower growth rates may hold it back. But numbers only tell part of the story. There are two very different futures for BRICS. In the optimistic scenario, BRICS becomes a flexible, reform-driven coalition that pushes global trade reforms, climate action, and financial alternatives. This path would allow it to influence the world order without forcing rigid divisions or confrontation. On the other hand, the pessimistic view sees BRICS as a fractured alliance, held back by internal rivalries, like India and China's tension and fears over China's dominance. These divisions could prevent the bloc from acting decisively or speaking with one voice on the world stage.
So, can BRICS really take on the West? The answer depends on whether these groups can put aside their differences and work together, or if their disagreements will stop them from reaching their big goals. So, is BRICS building a new superpower or just selling a dream? There is no doubt that BRICS has huge economic potential, with over 30% of global GDP, control over key resources, and a growing middle class. It holds real influence on the world stage, but the group's internal divisions and rival priorities make it hard to see BRICS fully replacing the West anytime soon. China's dominance also raises questions about whether all members feel equally represented or simply follow Beijing's lead. The big question remains: will Brexit ever speak with one clear voice, or will the West keep its spot as the world's ultimate power broker? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit a like button, subscribe and share this video so you won't miss what's next. Catch you in the next one.